Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma Toys and it is another collection video. So we have this box here, very superbly done, and I think if people have been watching the channel, and you will know I did a video on reigniting passions, this is kind of going to come into it. There also is quite a story to this as well. So let's get this open and see what is inside first, and then I will get into what's, so lots of bags. So what do we have in here? So first we have, from the 2-pack, we have Drax, the Destroyer, how he used to look in the early comic books. We have the white Doctor Doom, the Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth, the one that I wanted it for, so Space Venom, so he will add to my symbiotes collection. A little bit sticky around the leg, I think there must be, but still very cool. An Ultron, another Ultron. So as I say, I've been out of the Marvel Legends game, so I will keep these because I think they'll be good builders. And then two other characters we have is the Black Widow, and then Howard the Duck, and I will keep Howard the Duck. And then we have the alternate face of Space Venom. Sorry, that's probably not. Zoom in. Then we have the kind of symbiote hands that he can go into. And then we have the alternate head of Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth and the other alternate face of Drax. So yes, so we have essentially two big figures. I'd say Sabretooth is kind of big-ish. And then obviously Doctor Doom, Natasha, the two Ultrons, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 figures here with most of the accessories that come with them. And I got this for £40 plus fees. I think it was £41.50 all in all. Again, this is kind of a story it comes to. So I got this from a Facebook seller. I won't mention the person's name. He listed a lot of stuff very, very cheap. As I say, if you look for him, you could probably pay almost £40 just for this guy alone. I didn't know this at the time of bidding. This was £40. He had, I think, one set for 30 and 2 sets for 20, some Shield agents and stuff. All the other sets went, this was the last one that was outstanding. I've been umming and ahhing about this guy, and I asked him, like, I want just one Ultra, I want 2 out of 6 figures. What would he do me? And he said, I said, well, Venom and Ultron. He obviously thought both one. He said, well, I'll do both of them, and I think it was like £30 to £28 or something, maybe, or £32 maybe. And I'm like, well, the whole thing's 40 quid. Why would I pay that? I mean, I get it, there's fees and stuff on there, but it's just like, and I was like, no, I only want one Ultron. So then he went like £25, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, £25 for 2, £15 more. I get I get 5 more figures, so it's £3 a figure. And as I say, this guy's worth quite a lot. So this discussion is going on. At first, because I mentioned about those 2 and splitting, another guy had come in and basically said he wanted these 2 figures, and like, how much is it? And when, like, he said about 30 quid there, he went, well, I would take these 2 for 10, which is not only is dirt cheap, but I can see his logic of, if I'm paying 30, he's paying there. The guy went, I'm not going to do that, because obviously with postage it being split across 2, he's losing out with fees. Totally understandable. That had gone on why we had sorted out that I only wanted one of these. then I said, then I started to think about it, and then went, actually, I want to take them all. And I said, it was like, sod it, I'll take them all. That's what I put in. As it's on the chat, nothing kind of happened. The other guy hadn't messaged anymore and something like this. I waited 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes, and I come back, and then I put another message on there because you have to be quite prompt on these stuff. And I just said, look, I am, and I just said, you know, and then the guy came back and said, oh, you know, you've said you've wanted them, but the guy wanted 2 of them as well. You said you only wanted 2. You know, I think you should split it between the 2 of you. I feel that's fair and something. And I was like, I see what he's trying to say. And I literally said, you know, for the 30 odd quid you were charging me for 2 figures, I might as well just take them all. And the other guy was insistent. He wanted these 2. Yeah, so I literally, probably to make it thing. So I was kind of like, I only asked for those 2. He had kind of said he only wanted those 2. He said 30, even though it was 40 quid, and the other guy was 10. And he's like, well, no more. And then it was like, oh no, you can get these for like 20 odd. And then the bloke was like, well, I might as well take them all, after I'd already said that I would take them all. Anyway, the seller obviously was trying to do his best. In all fairness, I should have thought more about it. But when you have these Facebook ones, and this, I say, these figures come up, this was 40 quid or £41.50. It's dirt cheap. You know, you are never going to find these figures for that amount of price. I said, even if you like 5 quid, you know, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah, 5 quid a figure basically. And I say some of these big figures are really expensive. So I had, you know, gone, you know, even though I'd said it, he was like, well, you know, you both kind of took an interest at the same time. So I then, you know, I was like, okay, fair enough, I understand, you know, this is what, if you're saying we can only split it, then I'm not going to pay like almost 30 quid for 2 figures and lose out, you know, because the other guy is going to take 6 figures and I'm going to be up shit creek. So, well, not up shit creek, I'm going to be far worse off in my eyes. So I put that there. I said, you know, I understand, you got to do what you got to do it there. Again, I left this another 5 minutes, and then I went, but just to let you know, I am interested in all of them and I'm happy to take them all. I'd also messaged the guy when I said I would take them all and said, look, I'm happy to take them all, blah, blah, blah. So, but the other guy had then messaged him as well, and that message had delayed, and then the other guy started kicking off because it was like our messages were round about the same time when we, you know, as the chain, as he went down, because there were loads of like on avenues as Facebook splits out. And he was like, you know, oh, I would have taken them all, and, you know, stuff like this. You know, I was only doing it because you're splitting. I'm like, okay, this is starting to get really messy. The guy looked back at his message, said, look, honestly, myself, Chris, he was messaging first. That's how my message saw. And so I feel like he should be the one there. The other guy come back and went, no, actually, I messaged you. I sent it before. I sent you the internal message, and it was even before that, asking about these figures. It was like 10, 12 minutes ago, and I had said like 11 minutes ago or something, I would take it by this internal message. So that's where it stood. So I was like, I understand, you know, and I've been polite as possible. The other guy, I thought, had been a little bit pushy, but you can never tell this because of tone and everything in messaging. So I waited, so the bloke then come back and went, oh, it seems that things have developed. I've refreshed my phone and I can see what the guy is saying. I need to look into it. I might have to get admin involved, which is fair enough. But what I did is I reread the whole thing out, and then where he had put like 12, 16 minutes ago, over half an hour, like after 15, 20 minutes before that, I had already put a comment, I will take all of these. So I screenshotted that, added it into the chat, and just went, look, I understand this is awkward, apologies. I should have just gone for all of them. I was being a bit indecisive, and that's why I asked about the split. You know, I was expecting the split if he would say, like, take these 2 figures for £15, and I would have been like, yeah, that's fine. You said the others for 30, you know, reasonable, because he was charging most of the cost, and even he said he'd put it too cheap, that this is the problem. And I totally understand with him. I said, look, I understand what the other guy's saying. This is a screenshot. I said I would take them all way before he had even agreed to take them all, before we'd even, you know, we'd only just I'd made that decision after we'd come back and forth with some prices, and you hadn't agreed on a price with the other guy. In all fairness, I would not insist, but I say, I think I'm by far ahead of the other guy, heads and tails, of saying I wanted them all. But if he wants to talk it over with admin, because this is starting to become a bit complex, you do what you need to do. Yeah, he literally agreed with me straight away and said, fine, that's it. I come in, I said, do you want me to add fees? Because he only put 40 quid all in. He said, yeah, if you would mind adding fees, that's fine. I banged £1.50 on top of it. And there we go. 8 figures, £41. I say, this figure with his stuff is probably like 10 quids. I already have a Sabertooth. This is from the Age of Apocalypse, and I do need the builder figure. So I don't know what we'll do with him. I'm not the biggest fan of this design, but I will keep him for maybe a trade later on. Maybe I will just display him because I said I'm starting to get into Marvel Legends. Natasha, I'm not sure if I think I may have got her from AJ. So she comes with 2 guns at least. So she will sit place. Howard the Duck, the Ultrons, probably a white Doctor Doom I would keep as a placeholder. That I will probably put this in if I create an Age of Apocalypse line anyway. And it will just be at the minute, Drax will sit to one side. But yeah, for the money, I amazing deal. I said the guy, this is just kind of a story of when, like, you have to kind of be with Facebook as you are when you go to toy conventions and you're on your first trip round. If you see something and you like it and you think it's a really good price, bite the bullet, do it. Don't even kind of second guess, because half the time you will second guess. I say I almost did lost out. I was very fortunate that when it comes to these kind of heated discussions on these channels, on Facebook and that, most of the time I will back down. If people start kicking off, I just basically walk away because I don't want the stress. But as I'd already said, first off, I'd have it. Now I've got it. So 8 figures for that. So that has been my pickup with a Facebook story. Have any of you bought stuff from Facebook and had issues like this? Please let me know any of those in the comments down below. I'd really like to know that I'm not the only one who has this. But anyway, for any Marvel Legends fans or anybody else watching this video, thank you for watching my channel. I do appreciate it for all the years you have been, or for the almost 2 years that you have been doing it. It means a lot, and it helps the channel grow. I've been Cypher Sigma Toys, and I shall see you in the next one.